Hey, I'm trying to figure out how to start this video and what to cover because there's so much for today, but it's going to be chaotic. Trump is at the G7 summit in Canada, and he just refused to sign the de-escalation plea between Iran and Israel. Everybody else wants to sign it. The one saying, hey, you guys should de-escalate this conflict. Trump refuses to sign it and then went on this fucking weird rant about why Russia should be back in the G7. It should be the G8 again. And then he referred to himself in the third person in front of every world leader. Oh, Jesus. Fox News is now just saying, calling for the U.S. to join the war and finish off Iran. And the thing is, they thought their viewers were going to spoon feed that shit. But they're not. We're going to go through the comments. Even Fox News' viewers are abandoning them because of their goddamn warmongering. Because Fox News gets their script directly from the State Department. State Department says we're defending Israel because we already are. We also have a interview with Netanyahu where Netanyahu says just straight up a couple of things. He says, we are going to assassinate the Ayatollah Khamenei. That's what he says. And then he says, U.S. pilots are already in the air shooting down Iranian missiles. So we're already there. And then he says, we are on the brink of nuclear war. Fantastic. Other news, radiation levels in Iranian underground uranium enrichment facilities are increasing, which means that it's contained underground, but Israel continues to fucking bomb Iran, which means it's not going to be contained for long. Oh, God. All right. Hi, how are you? Hi, hey there. We're going to be fine. Let me grab you by the pubes. There you go. I'm Chris Valenti, and welcome to the Valenti VOD. Today, we're going to be covering the news. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs nothing, and it helps me immensely. However, if you do want to help the channel financially, there's a couple of ways you could do that. That's by becoming a member. That's by becoming a patron. That's by donating money. That's by buying merch, and that's by using the 40% off discount code for Ground News, located in the description below. I'm a douchebag from New York who majored in history and minored in political science, and everything you're about to hear is completely factually correct. I have a gift from God. I've never been wrong. And I'm the most humble man who's ever lived. Thank you, Cinderella, for becoming a loyalist. Welcome to the loyalist group. So the first thing I want to show you is just the way that Fox News is covering this, okay? Here's Fox News, okay?
Were killed by the most recent.
You're looking live at Tel Aviv, Israel, where at least 8 people were killed and dozens were injured in an early morning missile attack from Iran. In just 4 days of fighting, Iran has launched over 300 missiles towards the Jewish state. Many of them have targeted major civilian areas. We know a 5-year-old was lost. There was a Holocaust survivor targeting civilian areas. Let that sink in.
Two things. One, did you see what the fuck? Did you see that? Am I tripping?
Lost.
Wait, watch
here. There was
a
Holocaust survivor targeting
That's
civilian
not me. I'm not doing
areas.
this. That's not my mouse. My mouse is over here.
Let that sink in.
Are they doing the same thing as me? First of all, am I doing the same thing as Fox News? Second of all, where have I heard Israel and targeting civilian areas before? Oh, I know. I've heard it for the past, fucking 2 years as Israel has relentlessly committed a genocide against the Palestinian people. Now, of course, my heart weeps for any fucking civilian who was taken out in one of these conflicts. This is the problem between fucking religious theocratic leaders, okay? Dictators like Netanyahu and Ayatollah Khamenei. This has nothing to do with the fucking civvies. But at the same time, where was this sympathy for the Palestinians for the past 2 fucking years? Listen to her again. Look at her face, too.
5-year-old was lost. There was a Holocaust survivor targeting civilian areas. Let that sink in.
Let that sink in. It's been sunk in as Israel has targeted civilian areas throughout Palestine for 2 fucking years, bro. Jesus Christ.
Now, dramatic video captured the moment of impact in Tel Aviv just this morning.
Oh! My leg!
Well, hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kaylee McEnany here with my co-host, Emily Compagno.
So, first thing I want to show you is the comments on this, right? Other than mine. But politicians are the biggest threat to the world. This is sounding much like the whole Iraq had WMDs bullshit. I was waiting for them to use the Holocaust survivor line. Israel's war, not ours. Can't we also hear about how many women and children have died in Iran? Brother, this is Fox News. The people who comment on Fox News videos are not the people like you and I, bro. These are not the same fucking people, okay? They're not here. Meanwhile, as things are escalating between Iran and Israel, Trump does not intend to sign joint G7 statement on Iran. President Donald Trump does not intend to sign a joint statement calling for de-escalation between Israel and Iran that had been drafted by G7 leaders in Canada, according to a person familiar with the matter. Dude, what the fuck are we talking about? Why does he, I know why Donald Trump wants war. Because Donald Trump wants wartime powers. All he's trying to do is allocate as much power as he possibly can to the executive branch. And the way that you get the final nail in the coffin, the way that you get the last of the power, is by getting wartime powers and then holding on to it for dear fucking life. Okay? Now, we also have Trump at the G7, dude. We have a video of him. It's so weird.
Grateful to have you.
Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate it, and we've developed a very good relationship, and we're going to be talking about trade and many other things. And we have a whole group of people, some traders and some other people.
Some traders. Ain't that the truth?
I see my top economy people, but we have a very talented group of people, and you do too, and I know they work together very well. I look forward to that. The G7 used to be the G8. Barack Obama and a person named Trudeau didn't want to have Russia in, and I would say that that was a mistake, because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in, and you wouldn't have a war right now if Trump were president 4 years ago. But
two things. One, time and place, Donnie. Why are you fucking advocating for Russia to be in the G7 during the hello, during the handshake? How much? What does Putin have on you? Second of all, why are you referring to yourself as Trump? Can we play this again and look at how awkward it is? Look at this.
I would say that that was a mistake, because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in, and you wouldn't have a war right now if Trump were president 4 years ago. But it didn't work out that way. But it used to be the G8, and now it's, I guess, what's that, 8 years ago, it switched over. They threw Russia out, which I claimed was a very big mistake. Even though I wasn't in politics then, I was very loud about it. It was a mistake in that you spend so much time talking about Russia, and he's no longer at the table.
Chris, if you don't like our country, just say it at this point. Oh, see, I'm proud to be an American, but I am deeply disappointed and embarrassed of my nation. I am so patriotic that I want my nation to improve. I don't want us to go back in time and degress, right? Or devolve, right? That's, like you're saying, make America great again. You are implying that you want us to go back. I want us to move forward. The difference between us is that when I have a problem, I don't run from it. When there's a leak in my house, I fix it. I don't buy a new house, right? You're the leak. Your ideology is the leak, and you're flooding this nation with fascist ideology. We have to plug it and destroy the fucking flood.
So it makes life more complicated, but you wouldn't have had the war. Other than that, I think we're going to accomplish a lot, and I expect to. And I think our primary focus will be trade, and trade with Canada, and I'm sure we can work something out.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so much. Thank you very much.
So he's just making a fucking fool of us on the goddamn world stage. And let's listen to this 3-minute coverage about why he won't sign the fucking G7 statement.
And as tensions ratchet up in the Middle East, President Trump is in Canada participating in the G7 summit with several of the world's largest economies. For more on this, let's go to White House reporter Aaron Navarro. And Aaron, thank you very much for joining us. The latest round of nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran, they were called off over the weekend as a result of the violence. But now U.S. officials are saying that President Trump will not sign a G7 statement on Iran. So where do things stand on that front, and what happens now? Why is this significant?
Yeah, that G7 statement that you mentioned was a draft statement floating around from those G7 countries in Canada right now that talked about how both Israel and Iran need to protect civilians, talks about monitoring Iran, and re-ups the commitments to peace. U.S. officials have told CBS News that Trump is not signing that document. One official adds that Trump is kind of dedicated and will continue to work towards ensuring Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. And in recent days, President Trump has seemed almost optimistic about a deal between Israel and Iran, but the path on how they get there is still unclear. While at the G7...
What does it say? Oh, I'll take off my camera just for a second. U.S. officials, President Trump to not sign G7 statement on Iran.
Before his full meeting with Canada's Prime Minister, President Trump was asked if there had been any back-channel communications between the U.S. and Iran trying to send messages about de-escalating the conflict. President Trump responded, yes, there has been, but also criticized Iran and said that they should have been talking more with the U.S., with Israel, during that 60-day window to get a nuclear deal done.
Okay, so yeah, so Trump green-lighted just fucking bombing Iran if he couldn't get the deal done in 60 days. And as we know, King Doland is notoriously a dog shit businessman, a dog shit negotiator, the fart of the steel, right? The book that he didn't even fucking write. He hired a ghostwriter to create it. The man who bankrupted a casino, 2 of them, mind you. The man who fucking had Trump steak, Trump potatoes, Trump University, Trump fucking everything. Trump has failed except for the goddamn hat. Unfucking believable, okay? We've got more for you. Fucking Satan himself, Benjamin Netanyahu, did a fucking interview with ABC and just said some of the craziest shit. And it's so, you have to pay attention to the little things, bro. We're gonna try and cover a lot of it, but like it's a really long interview, but there are some key points in it.
Ballistic missile sites, so they
this
don't
part
have
is really important. 650. Watch this.
To the survival and the peace of the world are removed.
So are you going to target the Supreme Leader?
Look, we're doing what we need to do. I'm not going to get into the details, but
not only is that not a concrete answer, but am I the only one who thinks that's edited? Can we watch this?
Twin threats to our very survival, to the
Watch
survival
the change
and the peace
in
of the
him.
world are removed.
So are you going to target the Supreme Leader?
Look, we're doing...
I can't tell. It looks like maybe he answered one way and they didn't like it and they put in a different one. But this answer, regardless, is yes.
Doing what we need to do. I'm not going to get into the details, but we've targeted...
Bro, if I asked you if you were going to kill that guy and you said, look, we're going to do what we need to do, that's a fucking concrete yes. That's a concrete yes, bro.
Our top nuclear scientists, it's basically Hitler's nuclear team. You know, we got them. We still have work to do on other sites. We have targeted their ballistic missile manufacturing facilities. Understand this. You see these bombs. You saw a single bomb. It's a 1-ton bomb, John, dropping on Tel Aviv and other places, causing killing men, women, and children. They're deliberately targeting our population.
Just like you did to the Palestinian population for 2 fucking years, resulting in the deaths of 200,000 civilians.
We're not doing that. We're targeting their military sites, their nuclear sites, their ballistic missile sites, so they don't have 20,000s of these.
Yo, mind you, by the way, go ahead and look up, does Israel have nuclear weapons? You know what it's going to tell you? I don't know. What do you mean? It's undisclosed. Who the fuck are you to tell anyone? First of all, just to set the stage here, I don't think anybody should have a nuclear weapon at all. I am full denuclearization. I was a United Nations delegate at the Denuclearization Proliferation Treaty, right? I understand that we can actually live in a world without nuclear weapons. But who the fuck are you to say that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon when you won't even disclose to the world whether you have one or not? What the fuck?
That no country could survive with. Yeah, they want to continue stringing us along, but you know, there's a limit, because if we don't act now, there won't be a 13th hour. So we have to act. But what I'm saying is that we're not merely protecting ourselves, we're protecting everybody. We're protecting our Arab neighbors with whom we want to expand the peace, as we did under President Trump's leadership in the Abraham Accords. That will be possible if Iran is defanged. We're also protecting the world. They have
Anybody wonder why he speaks such good English? Where do you think Israelis go to college? Israel? Buddy. Oh, wait till he finds out.
Missiles that can now reach deep into Europe and soon could reach the United States. And imagine what this regime that caused death to America every time, that bombed your American embassies, that murdered 241 Marines in Beirut, that killed and injured thousands of American servicemen in Iraq and Afghanistan, that tried to blow up a restaurant in Washington, that burns the American flag. You want these people to have nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to your cities?
Oh, okay. So anybody who opposes Israel relentlessly bombing Iran actually wants Iran to have nuclear weapons. Notice how this is what they do, okay? The same way as they say anybody who doesn't want Israel to commit a genocide in Palestine is actually a pro-Hamas terrorist, right? Now they're saying anybody who opposes Israel's bombing of Iran actually supports Iran having a nuclear weapon. Why can't there be a third option, which is nobody has a fucking nuke?
Today it's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York.
Today it's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York. So, I mean, and meanwhile, MAGA calls me the fearmonger. MAGA calls me the fearmonger. How about today it's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York, from Prime Minister Benjamin fucking Netanyahu?
I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind, of humanity, and it's a battle of good.
So noble of you. So noble of you.
Good against evil. America should and does stand with the good. That's what President Trump is doing, and I deeply appreciate his support.
But U.S. officials tell us that the president flatly rejected a plan, an opportunity that the Israelis had to take out the supreme leader. Do you understand his concern? My understanding is his concern is that this would escalate the conflict beyond where it is already.
No, it's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict. We've had...
Oh, so you are definitely trying to kill the Ayatollah. You're saying it's not going to escalate the conflict if we assassinate the leader of Iran. It's going to end it. What?
Half a century of conflict spread by this regime.
We must avoid a nuclear holocaust. Okay, Cooper, so would you agree that every single nation on planet Earth should denuclearize? Nobody on planet Earth should have a nuclear weapon. Do you agree, yes or no?
Terrorizes everyone in the Middle East, has bombed the Aramco oil fields in Saudi Arabia, is spreading terrorism and subversion and sabotage everywhere. That's the forever war is what Iran wants. And they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. In fact, what Israel is doing...
Did you hear that? This is why I said, you have to pay attention to the little things. They're long interviews, but pay attention to the little things. Ready? Let's go back. Ready?
Is what Iran wants. And they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. In fact,
they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. Now, Cooper here in the chat says, ideally, yes, but I'm not worried with Israel having a nuke as I am with Iran having one. Now, listen, hold on a second, Cooper. According to every country's intelligence operation, Iran does not have a nuclear weapon yet, right? Would you agree, according to Netanyahu, they're trying to make one. They don't have one yet, right? Would we agree that at this point, Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon? Yes or no? Right? That's at least what they're claiming. They're saying they're trying to make one, but they don't have it yet. Would you agree there, Mr. Cooper 22? Because if you would agree there, now listen, if you would agree there, Cooper, then listen to this.
Everywhere. That's the forever war is what Iran wants. And they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war.
So he just said, and they are bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. Well, if you say yes, and Iran doesn't even have a nuke, the brink of nuclear war, let's cross that brink hypothetically. Wouldn't that be Israel nuking Iran? Because he's saying we're at the brink of nuclear war, yet the enemy doesn't have a nuclear weapon, which would mean that you are planning to use your nuclear fucking weapons. I mean, a fucking sixth grader could understand this. Clearly, this is the unhinged war criminal who is selfish enough to actually use his nuclear arsenal.
In fact, what Israel is doing is preventing this, bringing an end to this aggression. And we can only do so by standing up to the forces of evil. Look, democracies have had to learn this lesson. You know, they faced a tyrannical regime, a radical, fanatic regime. For 40 years, I've been saying, actually 3 years after the establishment of this radical Islamist Ayatollah regime in Tehran, I said that the greatest danger, not only to the survival of my country, but to the peace of the world, is Iran's pursuit of nuclear weapons. And they are on the brink of achieving that. So imagine what they're doing.
They are on the brink of achieving that. I'm 27 years old. My entire life, I have heard that Iran is on the brink of making a nuclear weapon. Every waking moment of my existence, the news has said that Iran has been on the brink of making a nuclear weapon. And they expect us to fucking believe this shit. Now, he says something else around the 12-minute mark I wanted to show you. Yeah, here it is.
This will bring the peace that we all hope for. And this will bring also the assurance of survival and a future for Israel and everyone else.
So it sounds to me like you're saying you disagreed with President Trump on this, saying that taking out the supreme leader would be a mistake. What else would you like from the United States? I mean, the United States could provide.
Well, John, I wouldn't rush to conclusions. Yeah.
Well, saying he wouldn't rush to conclusions in terms of Trump thinking that assassinating the Ayatollah would escalate it. What he's saying is, hey, I have Trump by the fucking balls. Do you know how quickly I could convince him to change his mind? That's what he's saying!
He said that it would escalate the conflict. You said it wouldn't. And now I'm asking you, what more would you like from President Trump, from the United States here? Do you expect that the U.S. Air Force will help you take out that facility in Fordo?
We've gotten tremendous help from President Trump. American pilots are shooting down drones that are aimed at our cities, along with our.
There we go. That's what else I wanted to show you. Look at this. Listen to what he just said. You have to listen to the little things, guys. Listen.
From President Trump, American pilots are shooting down drones.
American pilots are shooting down drones
that are aimed at our cities.
So, America is already in the fight. U.S. forces are in this fight against Iran. Don't listen to a single fucking word that the Fuhrer tells us when he's like, we may not go, oh, I don't know. We already went, and he's trying to come up with a plan on how to explain himself to the rest of the fucking world. So, listen, this is a really long interview. This is an ABC News interview. You could check this out. I have more to show you, okay? Which is what Fox News is consuming. Listen to this fucking warhawk piece of shit. You know that, like, stupid, crazy uncle that you have, right? The one who consumes Fox News? This is the shit that he's watching, okay?
This nuclear enterprise. And Fordow sits out there as a potential target that Israeli is challenged by. It's not that they don't have imagination. It's not that they couldn't do some surprising things. None of that certainly would be off the table.
Okay.
But the guarantee is for the United States to use its penetration bombing to take that site out. And I believe once that's done, we start to see the end of this thing.
So Fox News is like, they have these fucking war hawks. They are trying to prepare the Trump base for an imminent war with Iran. Because as you know, Trump voters can be convinced to do anything, okay? As long as you get it on Fox News or Newsmax or what is it, News Nation, whatever the fuck it's called. They can be convinced to do anything. Donald Trump has played with them like fucking fiddles the entire goddamn time. And I want you to start to prepare for people like Cooper22 to advocate for the watch. Just keep an eye on the chat. Cooper, question. Would you advocate for the United States to begin bombing Iran like this guy here is saying? Yes or no?
To take that site out, and I believe is for the United States to use its penetration bombing to take that site out. And I believe once that's done, we start to see the end of this thing.
General.
So what do you think about that? Would you like the U.S. to start bombing them? Not yet. Not yet. Okay, so you would advocate for it, but not yet. Copy that. Copy that. Copy that.
Let me, got about a minute left. You're talking about Fort Al. It's relatively located right here. West of Tehran, the capital city. This is Natanz here, just to the east and south of it. This is an aerial picture, General, okay, of Natanz and what it was before. You've got buildings and structures here, buildings here, and buildings here. That's pre-war. Now you've got complete devastation in Natanz here, this building located here, as well as this one in the upper right-hand corner. Natanz is very different from what this site that you're describing. Ferdau is a half-mile buried inside of a mountain. And you believe the United States has no choice but to get involved with the Iranians? Explain that, sir.
Well, it's in the United States core national interest that Iran does not have a nuclear capability and get to it. That's a fact. And this capability, if we leave it there, the Ayatollah will recover and rebuild. And that's what he's absolutely counting on. That's why he never was willing to dismantle the program himself.
I never want to hear a fucking Republican say that they are anti-war ever again. Remember when they claimed to be peaceful doves? Remember when Trump said it, like he would prevent World War III and that if Kamala was elected, she would start World War III? Remember when Trump said he would end the Ukraine war on day one? Remember when Trump said he would end the genocide in Palestine on day one? Do you remember all that shit that Trump said, bro? Bro, to every single person who actually believed him, I have a fucking bridge to sell you, okay? I have a bridge to sell you in a landlocked area, you dumb fuck.
That would end his program. Here he believes he has a chance. And that's what these guys are all about. And we've got to finish what we started here. We can't look like we haven't come to the assistance of the Israelis when they needed it the most here to finish this operation. They are our strongest ally in the region. What do you think the Arabs would think after the president's visit there, looking at this and they're saying, my, if the United States...
What do you think the Arabs would say? Bro, just the most subtle Islamophobia you could fucking imagine.
Isn't going to help the Israelis at this critical time? What's the chance they're going to help us? And does this motivate Putin a little bit more to stay the course in terms of what he's doing and President Xi? If we don't help the Israelis finish this off, it's their operation. We would lend a support to it to finish it off. And that's what I'm suggesting, and I'm certain the president is making those considerations.
Jack Keane, General, thank you.
General? In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancto. What do you mean? Oh no. All right, we got more here. Guess what? The USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group sailing towards the Middle East ahead of schedule, bro. And if you're curious what that is, it's the world's oldest nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, and it's also being brought along with a fucking strike group. Oh, Jesus Christ. USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group is on its way to the Middle East from the South China Sea. The Nimitz Strike Group was previously scheduled to replace the USS Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group, which has been deployed for several months but is now headed to the Middle East ahead of schedule. The two will now be in the Middle East at the same time. This is such a rapid fucking escalation. Oh, mind you, Trump Mobile just launched. The Trump regime is debuting a cellular phone service called T1 for $47.45. Now, if you're curious why, it's because he was the 47th and 45th president. And even though he was 45, then 47, these fucking bastards wanted the extra $2. You can't make this shit up, dog. Look at it, 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 look at it. For the low price of $50 a month. Oh my fucking God. And I think there's a video of Dumb and Dumber up here. Where is it? I gotta find it. Is the video here? No. Give me the video of Eric and Don Jr. Trump Mobile. There's gotta be the video. They gotta have the video. Here it is, bro. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Play the fucking video. Give it to me. Dude, you know what he says in it? He says this shit from Succession where he's like, we're major disruptors. We want to be major disruptors.
Make sure that real Trump Mobile.
Watch this.
Well, good morning, everyone. And today we're here to introduce Trump Mobile. We've partnered with some of the greatest people in the industry to make sure that real Americans can get true value from their mobile carriers. A big part of what we've done right now in the world has been focused on technology for people who have been underserved, whether that's been in crypto or anything else. But one of the places where we felt there was lackluster performance was in the mobile industry. And with Trump Mobile, we're going to be introducing an entire package of products that people can come, they can get telemedicine on their phone for one flat monthly fee. Roadside assistance.
Yeah, $50 a fucking month. By the way, dude, this is not coincidental that it happens with this whole Palantir fucking deal. You understand that if you sign up for this shit, Palantir is going to be listening to your fucking thoughts, bro? You might as well just slice your wrists and give them your fucking DNA. Thank you, Puffin, for becoming a loyalist.
Assistance in their cars, unlimited texting to 100 countries around the world, and we've partnered with some of the best to really bring something unique to the American people.
We're going to include, as Pat said earlier and Don had said earlier, telemedicine. So this way, if you have an issue or a problem, you use your Trump mobile phone. You make a call to a doctor that's available to you 24/7, 365. That doctor can write you a prescription. You can take that prescription to CVS.
Yeah, for fucking $5,000 because we don't have universal fucking health care.
Yes, have that prescription filled out, supplied for you, all at no additional cost. This is all part of your Trump mobile program.
But we're also spending a lot of time in the technology field. Everybody knows.
Oh, look, it's fucking doofy. Here comes Fail Son. Here comes Sloth. Hey, you guys! Thank you for becoming a loyalist, Dano.
We've done in crypto. I think we've got the greatest projects in crypto, and more our company is evolving into various sectors. And, but there is kind of a key to that, and that is America, right? I mean, the fact that all your customer service will be done in America. It's going to be done in St. Louis, Missouri, I hope.
Yeah, and your phone is going to cost a whopping $3,500.
Give that out. And making phones in America, it's about time we bring products back to our great country. And
our great country.
Back to our great country. And it's about time we disrupt this space. And
it's about time we disrupt this space. I know some of you have seen Succession. It's about time we disrupt this space. What a fucking loser. How awkward. Oh my God, that is so fucking awkward, dog. Jesus Christ. All right, listen. That's all I got for you for today's Valenti VOD. Every hour there's new shit, so I don't even know what to tell you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you absolutely nothing and it helps me immensely. I'm so sorry. This is real independent media. If you're curious as for what that looks like, it looks like some douchebag in the corner of his office with his cat next to him and his dog over there streaming off a Logitech camera on a shitty fucking laptop. So if you want to support the channel financially, a couple ways you could do it are becoming a patron on Patreon for $5 a month. Massive shout out to the patrons. Becoming a member here on YouTube for $5 a month. Massive shout out to the members. You can also buy Valenti Videos merch down below. You could use the 40% off discount code for Ground News Vantage subscription located down below. And then you can also just straight up donate to the channel. That's always very kind of people. Thank you so much for 69,000 subs. We're trying to hit 100K as soon as possible so I can get that YouTube play button right over there. But more importantly, to prove that we can build a community of 100,000 people who all understand one common agreement, which is that Donald Trump is a fascist and a threat to democracy. So do me one last favor if you're not watching this live. Click that video right over there. I promise you, it's a banger. And I know bangers.